Hey guys, this is Paul with Hearts of Harvest Farm. We're in our winter production high tunnel right now that we have yet to begin harvesting, but we seeded and transplanted most of this house the beginning of December, mid-December for some of it. And as you can see, even though we've had lower daylight times and some cooler weather here and there, everything's really flourishing well in here. We keep the house closed overnight. We'll open it sometimes in the day to ventilate, but we're really trying to keep the heat locked in because most of these plants seem to be very responsive to heat growth, even though the daylight hours have died down. In this bed over here, we have our Salanova lettuce heads that we will cut for salad mixes and lettuce heads. We grow all 8 varieties of the Salanova that you can get through Johnny's Seeds. In this bed we have red Russian kale in the first piece here. In the middle section we have a patch of a green curly kale, and in the very end we have a patch of collard greens. You can look here. In this bed we have the black summer pak choi or bok choy. It's the same thing whether you hear it either way. In the middle we have another patch of collard greens. In the third quadrant back there we have a lacinato or dinosaur kale. In our fourth bed we have a pretty solid flush of carrot germination coming along. And in the fifth bed on the edge we have a quadrant of Hackeri turnips. And then we have 2 different radish varieties that make up the other 2 quadrants in the bed. We used overhead wobbler irrigation once we transplanted and direct seeded. Primarily the overhead was for the direct seeding because we just see that we get a little bit better germination rate when we get full bed coverage on direct seeded crops. But we also have drip in here that we feed our fertigation through, and we maintain irrigation throughout the growing cycle. And you know, seasons are what they are, but we're hoping that this style of growing through the winter and early spring will sustain us until mid-March, before some of this, maybe April, before some of this kale and collard starts bolting. We'll also, like some of the quicker roots, we'll harvest those out, and as we harvest those roots out, we'll be following those with more successions of Salanova lettuce and bok choy. But yeah, our goal for this house was to try to give us some protected culture growing through the winter and early spring to help keep our market tables full, since we do sell at one year-round farmers market. Once these crops are cleared, we will refertilize the house and amend all the soil to our kind of standard specs, and this will then become tomatoes and peppers for summer production. This is kind of the prettiest that it will be before we start hacking away and chopping stuff up, and there's going to be patches and plants stripped down. But we just wanted to give you guys a look inside our winter high tunnel production. Even though it's 65 degrees outside and doesn't feel quite like winter, this is being extremely helpful for us because we have crops that are in the field unprotected that are growing at about half the rate, and the color is much more vibrant in the protected culture house because we're able to keep the humidity higher and the temperatures more stabilized. But I hope you guys enjoy the view inside our high tunnel. We're in the process of building our second high tunnel, so we'll keep you guys up to date on that and continue giving you more insights into our farm productions. We'll see you at market.